dev camp in the books. How do you feel it went?
I thought I learned a lot over the week here. Met a lot of great people, and like I said, learned a lot from a great staff here, and lots of development. So like I said, I had a great time, lots of fun, and happy we got that win there.
Easton, you played so much with Nick and Ty throughout this week. Can you sort of walk us through how that chemistry developed throughout? I mean, a lot of people are saying it's you and Nick as best player in the camp. I guess what was like playing with those two guys?
It's pretty funny, obviously. Me and Voigt got that rivalry. He plays for Sting, I played for the Knights, so he's a great playmaker. He sees the ice really well, and then Molds is really good up the middle there. So felt like we chemmed really well, and we had a lot of chances, just couldn't bury, but we pulled out the win, so that's all that matters.
What do you think you'll take away most from this 5 days when you look back on it?
Just the pro habits. Waking up early, getting to the rink, getting to bed early. Fueling your body, getting the right amount of sleep. I learned a lot, with all the seminars and stuff, and I'll really bring it back to London with me.
So what does the rest of the summer look like for you?
I'll be training in London there, working out with my trainer Trevor Williamson, skating with Kevin Gallardo, Kathy McWay, and all them, and then come up here a day or two and really, see if I'm improving, and I'll use these resources as much as I can. Obviously, great development here and in London.
What do you think you use from this experience going forward the last week?
Just show the young guys there in London, what it takes to be at a dev camp, and the pro habits and stuff like that can really separate you from others.
How early is going to bed? Like, what time is that? I'm just curious.
You're in bed around 9. Me and Molds were watching Suits this past week, so he got me on that. So like I said, getting to bed at 9 depends when you're tired, but just getting into bed and rolling out and stretching.
That was
and
shot
stuff.
in Toronto. Did you notice?
I actually found that out later in the week, so it was pretty funny.
How was the aquarium?
It was good. It was pretty cool. I went with the new draft picks, Huds and Chatty there, so it was great, fun experience. Also went with Cavs, attendee there, so it was fun and pretty cool actually seeing all those fish and stuff.
What's it like to work with Hayley Wickenheiser?
She's great. She knows a lot. Obviously, she's proved a lot, and she knows the little habits you need in your game to succeed at the next level. So I'm looking forward to working with her, and obviously I'm excited to get back here.
Got the win, obviously impressive there, a lot of chemistry with your teammates, but who were some of the guys maybe on the opposite team that stood out as particularly difficult to play against today?
I thought the defense there, Sandine, was pretty good. Showed great edges. He danced me once actually there, so great player. And then probably Tverberg, I think that's how you pronounce it. He had a lot of great chances. Really good cutbacks, created chances all over the ice. So great players there, and like I said, great guys off the ice too.
Awesome. Thanks. Dev Camp 2023 wrapped up. What are your final impressions?
I think it was a really good week all around. The energy and the attitude from the players was excellent through the week. We were able to do a good build with our skill foundation combined with game thinking, and then to a final game today. So one game this year instead of 3 last year. The energy was a little higher. I think the players were excited to play by the end of the week.
Easton, Nick, and Ty were paired together throughout the week. I guess what were your overall impressions of how that line formed, what the chemistry was like, and maybe some of the instruction you gave them?
For
Easton and Nick Moldenhauer and
for that line?
Yeah.
Those guys, Nick and Ty have been to development camps before. They're veterans of the environment. Easton coming in as, a lot of attention, your highest draft pick. So you expect those guys to dominate and lead the way. I thought today they played well as a line, created a lot of chances, and we just, it's one game. You're not evaluating much or anything. It's a long game with these guys. So you're looking at the progression through the week and where they are right now, and where we evaluate them as the season goes on and into as their careers develop. But I think Easton came in and had a really good week. I like the way he plays the game with a lot of passion and energy and agitating out there. It was him and John Fusco going at it a little bit early on was good to see. That's you want to compete, and so good for him for doing that. And Nick Moldenhauer continues to elevate his game as well.
You mentioned the 3 scrimmages to 1. Is that something you learned from last year to kind of change it up in terms of how you wanted to implement things this year?
Yeah, so last year, we were coming out of COVID, and a lot of players hadn't played the game for a long, some of them for a year. And the thought behind that was to just see who's done the work when no one's watching, and how players came in, and there was a lot of minor injuries, fatigue, things like that. And so with another season behind us, we felt like we get enough eyes on our players, enough touches through the season that we could come in and go back to the skills that build and separate players to the NHL level, and then have some game thinking scenarios, and then one game in the end. And you see today they play hard, and there was a few little injuries through the game, so you kind of have to manage that as the week goes on.
How is Ronnie doing? I think we saw him walking around. Like that looked like a good sign that
he's okay. He has he has a concussion, and he'll need some time to recover. But he's a very tough human. He's a tough person, and that was a very big hit. It was a clean hit. It was I think a good hit by Dillingham there. So tough. Every single player in your career, you always through your career take a hit like that. I think it happens to everyone. You never want to see it in a game scenario like this, and so I think we all just held our breath a little bit. And the fact that he was able to get up and get off the ice is a good sign. But I think he'll be fine with some time.
First look at the two Russian goaltenders. What were your impressions on Pexa and Tiamat?
Really impressed throughout the week. Their foundational skill set, from feedback from our goalie coaches, John Elkin, everyone's very impressed. Akhtiamov certainly has separated himself, and Pexa right there as well. So it's exciting. We've got some good goalie depth, I think, here, and through the week, those two have really stood out as the top two.
Is there a plan for both of them? Are they going back to Russia to start next season, or are they staying here?
Yeah, they'll be back to Russia, and we'll follow them from afar. The key with them will be just playing time and their development, making sure with Akhtiamov, I think Akbars has a very good development scenario. Some of the teams overseas do better than others, and so we're comfortable with him being over there, and we'll try to maintain as much contact as we can with our Russian players. It's tricky.
It's a very broad question. What would you say the state of the pipeline is in terms of the prospects to the Leafs? There's been a few years where you didn't have the first rounders, and of course Rodian's very unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
How do you think things are going?
Well, you're right. I mean, we don't have a lot of prospect depth. We're in a different situation here with the big team and trying to build a team to win a Stanley Cup, and so sometimes you give away some of your picks to acquire talent. So we're trying to build up the players that we have. I think we have some really good players in our system that have made some strides, and our goaltender depth seems to be coming, and within the pool that we have, we've got a couple players that are starting to push for that next level. So that's our job, is to make sure that we can help these guys translate to the next level with time in the Marlies system and the development model that we have here.
Do you feel Matthew Nyes and Robinson, despite his injuries, are two examples of that? Guys who were picked a little lower.
Yeah, I think both of those guys are good examples. I mean, for Matthew to come in and step into the Stanley Cup playoffs, that's not an easy thing to do, and he did a very good job of that last year. And he came to development camp the year before, and it was really eyes wide open for him of what it was going to take. So these are really important times and moments for these guys to see, okay, this is what I need to do to get to the next level. And same thing for Nick Robertson. It's just unfortunate with the injuries that he's had. He's so driven to want to come in and impress that it's almost like holding him back a little bit, But they're both right on the cusp. Yeah.
A couple of later picks from out west this past year. What were your impressions of Malinowski and Chadwick, and were there any free agent invites that really impressed you this week?
Yeah, we really liked both Chadwick and Malinowski. I mean, Noah is a big, long, lanky defenseman. Seems to want to make plays out there. He moves pretty good. He's young in terms of his training age off the ice, so that's exciting because there's a lot of room to develop. He's a very intelligent person. He does very well in school, and he's got a lot of good questions. Keen about his own development. And then Hudson Malinowski, he lost the season with a freak accident there back in Saskatoon, and then has come in, and he's got a swagger to him. He's a lanky, smooth, sort of shifty forward, good knack around the net, and I thought he held his own here this week for coming in kind of, drinking from a fire hose. Albin Sundin is another player that I think we've all liked. He's playing in the SHL and big, strong defender, moves pretty well. He's very fit, physically fit. His challenge is the speed, matching speed, and being able to defend at the next levels. But he's a guy that's come in that has been impressive.
With your line, how has it been getting to know those guys this week, and how was it on the ice finally? Playing the game setting?
It was awesome. I think Easton and I kind of bonded from the first day. Like we were roommates, and I've never met him before, and we were watching Suits together, kind of just having a good time the first night. So. Yeah, he's a great kid, and I had a great time getting to know him, and as well as Voider, I knew from last year. He's an awesome dude, and it was really fun playing with the two of those guys. You know, both unreal players. So I thought we, considering it's dev camp and hard to build a whole lot of chemistry, I thought we were really good together and built a lot of chemistry. You know, couldn't really buy one today, but I thought we generated a lot and played really good. So.
Yeah, you played down the middle here at Dev Camp. You played down the middle last year and a bit throughout the season. Do you have a preference of center or wing?
Yeah, I mean, I like playing both. I don't have a huge preference. You know, wherever I fit, I know I'm just gonna enjoy playing there, and yeah.
Do you have an idea as which side you're gonna play at Michigan coming up in the fall, or is it kind of a bit of a both?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a bit of both. I'm taking things day by day, not worried about that a whole lot. So. Yeah, it'll probably be a bit of both, but I'm just looking forward to the whole college experience and playing with those better guys.
Yeah. Haley Wickenheiser just told us that you continue to elevate your game throughout this week. I guess, what was it like playing with like sort of team speed with Easton and Ty, and like I guess what were your favorite parts about the on-ice aspects of playing on that line?
Yeah, for sure. I think for me my favorite aspects was just being able to play with those guys who really elevate their game. I think that helps elevate mine as well. You know, they're pushing me and I'm pushing them, so I think just the three of us together just. We're developing at a high rate all week, and I think it's mainly because we were pushing each other the whole week too. So I had a lot of fun playing with those guys today and practicing with them the whole week too.
You're a local kid. How does it feel, you know, playing in Dev Camp here for Toronto and you know in a rink like this?
Yeah, I mean it's surreal. As I've said before, I've grown up a Leafs fan and always been a fan of the Leafs, watching them grow up as a little kid. And I remember I used to do like the Leafs development camps as like a 6-7-year-old. I was seeing those guys earlier there in the week, and it was just crazy. You know, it reminded me of me being a kid, and it's been a long journey, but a fun one for sure. So yeah, it's surreal being able to wear the Leafs crest on my logo on my chest now.
Still got photos from that?
I do. Yeah, I have photos somewhere. Yeah, I got the little outfit that they gave us, the tiny shirt and shorts in my closet still, just as a memory. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Who was your favorite Leaf when you were a kid?
Honestly, I'd say Kessel.
Nice.
So yeah, I think he was definitely my favorite when I was younger.
If you could recommend one place in Port Credit for someone to visit during the summer, where would it be?
One place in Port Credit. Honestly, I think I'd say El Jefe, the Mexican place. They've got real good food. So been there a few times with my parents and a few buddies sometimes too. So definitely recommend there. Their food's awesome.
This is more from curiosity. Do you ever get recognized like out in public in Mississauga?
I mean, sometimes, nothing crazy, but yeah, definitely sometimes.
You talked a bit about your line mates. What about some of the players on the opposite side that were particularly difficult to play against today?
Oh yeah, there's a ton of really good players out there, and it's a whole lot of fun being able to play against them. So I think Minton's definitely a great player. You know, facing up against him every shift is an awesome time. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of good players. Ronnie's really good. So I'd say that the whole other team is just awesome and fun to play against.
Yeah, coming from Chicago, of course, now we're starting to get into already some of the draft talk for 2024. What was it like playing with Macklin Celebrini this past season?
It was unreal. I mean, he's a 16-year-old jumping into the USHL, and in my opinion, was the best player in the league. So me being a little bit older and being a little bit of a mentor for him was pretty cool. And I learned so much from him too. And it's just awesome to see the way he works, and day in and day out, he's just an awesome player to be around, kind of push me, I'll push him. So yeah, he's an awesome kid off the ice, awesome kid on the ice, and one heck of a player. So I'm looking forward to see what he does next year.
Awesome.